Alright, what's up guys? Um, Noah here today, and I'm going to be doing a quick video on how to play Louis Baker's Birds. Um, this song is a great song. I've known his stuff now for about half a year. I've been following him. He's probably my favorite singer. Um, and he doesn't get the credit that he deserves for it. And I know a lot of people have been looking for um, his music, especially like his chords and stuff like that online. So I thought that hopefully this would help a little bit. I learned this from a cover that this girl did. I don't remember her name, and it's going to bug me to death. I will put a link to her cover in the description. She does a really good job with it, and I applaud her for learning it because for a lot of us, kind of like hobbyist guitarists, it can be kind of hard. Um, so you're going to start with the capo on the third or fourth fret, depending. I normally play it on the fourth, um, just because that's a better range for me. This is the key that he plays it in during his Mahogany Sessions performance, I should say. Um, and in his studio version, he plays it on the third. It's also dependent on what kind of style you want to play. If you want that deeper, like more darker sound out of it, I would say go with the third, kind of like the way he plays it in his studio recording. But if you want the more brighter, upbeat playing, like he does in Mahogany Sessions, go with that fourth. So a big thing about Louis Baker songs is intonation. That's probably the biggest part of his songs. For this song, three things you should remember throughout the song is guitar bends. I don't mean whammies. Obviously, you're probably not going to want to whammy with the capo on. You will really screw up the tuning of your guitar, and you'll probably snap a string. I mean with the guitar itself. What he does a lot is, I don't know if you can see, I have my arm positioned right, nice and curled around the back of the guitar, and then I have a nice firm grip on the neck. And what he does a lot with the songs, especially with this chord in particular, that C variant chord that he plays throughout the song, he's going to hit it. He's going to bend that note. Now what he's doing is he's pulling back with both his right arm and his left hand, and he's pushing his chest against the back of the guitar, causing the neck to bend. And that's what gives that bending sound. Obviously, you're not gonna try to snap your guitar in half. You just nice and light and push back on it a few times, which will get the chord to ring and give it that sound that he has. And so you're gonna start with that chord, actually, first chord of the song. When he says time stand still. And he's gonna go to a G. No strings on the bottom though. Just that top string and that fifth string. So you go to this A minor variant chord. It's basically an A minor, but instead you're gonna pull that ring finger off. Give it a little bit of that brighter soundingness to it. So he's going to go back to that C variant chord. It's only those three chords throughout the intro. G, A minor variant, C variant. That's the second big thing you have to remember throughout the song. You ought to keep track of that D string. That D string becomes very important, especially in relation to the C variant chord during the chorus. But also for the intro, you're going to want to note it because on the third time around through that progression, when he hits that A minor, instead of doing what he's going to do is he's going to pop up his ring finger and hit that B string, and so he's moving all his fingers up. Now he has his middle finger on the G string, his index finger on the D string, and his thumb on that fifth. And what he's doing is he's doing a hammer on that D string. So he's going to go back to that C variant chord. It's only those three chords throughout the intro. You ought to keep track of that D string. That D string becomes very important, especially in relation to the C variant chord during the chorus. But also for the intro, you're going to want to note it because on the third time around through that progression, when he hits that A minor, instead of doing what he's going to do is he's going to pop up his ring finger and hit that B string, and so he's moving all his fingers up. Now he has his middle finger on the G string, his index finger on the D string, and his thumb on that fifth. And what he's doing is he's doing a hammer on that D string. so that's basically it. He's gonna end that with like kind of like a more either a slower pluck down, or sometimes I even do and finish like that. And so that's when you move on to the verse. The verse is basically the same progression, although you're going to throw that C in now. Again, very important that you keep track of that D string. So we can start with the G again. I don't know if you can see the progression. Sorry, my computer loves to hibernate on me. So he's going to do the progression. I'll slow down for it. So it's just like that. It's as long as you keep track of those upbeats on with your index and your middle finger, it's not too bad. I don't know if you can see the changes now that I made with the C chord. So he's actually going to hit the variant first and then pluck to that C chord. And then on the last time around, you're going to end with the. That's a third big thing about the song, and actually a lot of Louis Baker songs in general, just like the bending. He tends to hit the top few strings and then follow with the bottom, as opposed to one stroke of all the strings. That's pretty prevalent in the end of the intro and the end of the verse. Although with the end of the verse, I tend to strike the strings with my fingernails. It creates kind of like a sudden jump to the chorus, and adds a little power and kind of brightness to it. So I go just like that. And so now you move on to the chorus. The chorus is kind of like the meat and potatoes of the chord changes throughout the song. A lot of the stuff is just those little chord changes throughout the intro and the verse. But now you're gonna have a little bit of more movement going on. He's actually gonna start now with that A minor variant chord. The progression with your fingers, the picking is pretty similar for the most part. So he's gonna go. And so that chord right there is he's switching to a B chord, kind of, not really, a B variant chord. He has his index finger on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and his pinky finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And he's going to slide down. So he's going to go A minor variant, B variant, that's C. And so he's with his index finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and his pinky finger on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So he's going. And so from here, he's going to go all the way down, and he's going to hit this once. So now he has his index finger on the 5th string, 7th fret, and his pinky finger on the 2nd string, 8th fret. He hit that once. So and then he's sliding all the way down to the 5th string, 2nd fret. So he's start from the beginning. Like that. So he's doing. And then he gets to that progression. That's basically the heart of the song. He's going from the C variant. This is the same picking as the verse. So he's starting with that C variant with the pinky down on the D string, 3rd fret. He's pulling that up to make a C chord, and then on the second one, it's another C variant. But what he's doing is he's pulling that middle finger off the 2nd fret D string, and then putting it back down to get that C again. And so it's Just like that. Not too bad. And so I mean that's basically the whole thing. And then oh, by the end of that, your first chorus, he's gonna do another. Says strike again. Um, so that is basically the song. I mean, it just kind of repeats. Obviously, you're gonna kind of trail off in the end like he does with that alternation. So it's not too bad. Hopefully, you were kind of able to get it, the gist of it at least. Um, just a couple key things to remember. That D string, keep track of that because that's where a lot of the very subtle chord changes are. If you don't hit it properly, you're not going to hear the chord change, and that kind of defeats the purpose because a lot of the chord changes are very subtle. Um, the bending, obviously you're not going to be doing it a whole lot throughout the song, but that's a big signature, kind of like almost like trademark of the Louis Baker songs. A lot of bending, kind of give it that fluidity kind of sounding. I don't know how to describe it. Um, what else? With this song in particular, you'll want to keep good dexterity with your thumb because that's going to give that pop sound, that percussive beat that he does throughout the song. Especially if you're kind of like do it like his studio version because that is where a lot of the brightness comes from that you don't realize. A lot of the brightness in that song comes mainly from the violins. His vocals are very laid back, very mellow. The chords themselves, you can hear them, are very mellow as well. But the violins, the strings that he has with it, brighten it up a lot. But that percussive thing keeps it a little upbeat. So that's really important. If you're having a hard time getting that top string to pop off the frets, you can even kind of like let your pinky finger kind of like go like ragdoll, and have it kind of like tap the guitar. Sometimes like I do it on my pick guard, and that suffices. But like once you get the hang of it, you'll feel it. And that will be especially important in the chorus because with the chorus, since your chord changes are a lot of sliding, a lot of jumping, you're gonna want to let those bottom strings ring out a lot. So when you hit, try to focus on hitting a lot with your thumb. That will help the bottom strings ring out without muffling it too much because you don't want to full on mute the chords. You just want a little bit of that popping going on. Is there anything else? No, I think that's all I can do for you. I hope this helped. I know I'm kind of a noob at making tutorials. I never have before. But I haven't seen much on his stuff, so I figured a little bit of something is better than nothing. I apologize if any of you are advanced and are like, what is this kid doing? He doesn't know any chord names. It's true, I don't. But I like figuring it out. It's fun. So again, hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, that subscribe button is always appreciated. And hopefully more to come. I just finished learning both Burning Ember and Back on My Feet by Louis Baker. So I'll be doing those two. And hopefully I'll be able to learn some more obscure songs. It's something I kind of enjoy doing, especially because there's actually a lot of people that enjoy this type of music, music that kind of gets overlooked. And then since it's overlooked, no one knows the chords for them. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that soon. So thank you, and hope you enjoyed.